I still need to be able to talk. Then I lose this and this fat here. Yes. And by walking up a alpine hiking path, real slow, like all steep, 600 meters height difference within an hour, doesn't get me slim. It just creates a lot of strength in my booty, and that'll be it. Yeah. And like running downhill loosens everything, just like I'm doing like right now. Like when I had my shoulder hurting because of I have wide shoulders. See? Wide. Sleeping on the side gets me into pain sometimes. So walking downhill with flip-flops, you really gotta take care where you're stepping at. So it was also a Achtsamkeitsübung, which means you gotta look up a word. ACHTSAMKEITS, that one, and then you put on lesson, like Übung is lesson. Yeah. It's kind of hindert. So the mistake I made like 2 years ago was I was always sort of jumping, and then when I had sore muscles, which is no good, like taking MSM, you get rid of the sore muscles. But then next day I was again doing like an hour, maybe sometimes 4 hours. And what happens when you overdo, sports, you can't ever undo all the damage. So that's what I learned, and I compare this to eating a chemical apple. Like when your apple isn't giving you all the minerals, vitamins and enzymes you need to clear out the toxins you eat with this one apple. Well, then maybe an apple a day won't keep the doctor away anymore. Right? So this was a mistake I made, and I'm doing it again. So this part here is sore, and still now I'm again wanting this cardio effect, endorphins, serotonins, dopamines. I need them all. Da 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 da. Dee doo dee doo. Da dee doo dee da da. Ooh. There is a camera on the floor. Well, oops. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, so I'm gonna, I intake leucine, arginine and collagen, and I'm gonna buy, again, I used to have it, chondroitin sulfate, which is for my hurting knee. At times this knee here just won't function properly anymore. And MSM for the collagen to get into the You know, when you do a lot of stereotype motions all the time, then the bone and Sehnenbänder, Knorpel, all, you know, gets worn off. So what I will do, you know, I will go back to have a lot of, well, I'm eating a lot of curd. Curd has this sulfur amino acids that you find in MSM as well, this miracle something, you know. But it's the same like DMSO, dimethyl sulfonate. It's that sulfur that you need to get your body into breathing. And it's just healthy, like there is teas having those amino acids in small amounts as well. So that's why people say melissan tea, have it, you know. And it's cysteine and methanoine, like when you buy the substances all in a mono substance. I don't think that one serves me too well, because I was having like maybe 15 to 20 different pills and stuffs that I took. A year ago I was taking them all the time, and now I'm just taking the 3-4 things I mentioned, because collagen, I'm not eating fish. Where would I get that? I don't eat you know, powder of bones. Like the chondroitin is just, you know, grinded bones. And then the glucosamine is a form of sugar, just some normal pear sugar. But these three, MSM, collagen, glucosamine, help a lot if you do monotonous running and stuff that will grind away your bones. And vitamin D, of course, is also within the mix. So, few days I will get my iron test and my vitamin D stuff back. Then I'll see how I'm doing there. So yeah. So my problem with the knee was as follows. I just had a loss. I had a lot of pain and they called it a Baker cyst. So a doctor took out some knee, the liquid within my knee. And he told me, oh yeah, the plate, maybe it's called patella, I don't know. Plate in your knee is 1 centimeter up. And I still don't know why this is so, because those buggers, they of course want to make operations and stuff. And I told them, you know, and it has gotten better. Like jumping downhill this alpine hiking path in the winter in shoes on snow, you kind of don't really stand on a specific point, but you kind of glide a bit as well. So this one wasn't so good for my knees. When I was walking in the valley, I sort of had my knee wobbling. And this is a really awkward feeling, because when one knee isn't carrying you, what you then need to do is jump on one leg. I wasn't, I was just continuing walking, and then it would again start working perfectly. So this happened once, twice to me, maybe a year or two ago. So now I'm sort of taking business into I'm taking care of business, of health now myself. So that's why I went to that doctor, and I will just get a load of stuff there that is useful to me. Iron injection, chondroitin, sulfate, vitamin D, And then I can still continue eating like avocados and stuffs. But I will take care, because iron deficiency makes you weak and gives you headaches. And when you drink coffee, you don't take in the iron. But then having a headache because of iron deficiency, drinking coffee then can help. Like when you have a headache for 4 days, it's usually solvable with a coffee. Somebody told me, thank you. So now I know. So these iron coffee, iron you need to take with vitamin C, but if you take all sorts of plants, that iron isn't put into your system as efficiently as when eating red meat. So red meat I haven't had for last year. I started eating meat, so yeah, now I eat meat, but not really. So to gain iron now, I hope I can get the injection. Vitamin B12 he already gave me. I took the Alpha Algene. I'm not sure did I intake B12. And then there is another guy, Walter White, VEITH, and he says when you have a alkaline mouth, B12 gets created within your mouth. So how do I know? But yeah, iron deficiency, that one is pretty clear. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. I once was testing ferritin, so I know that my iron was low years ago. So have I solved it by now? I don't think so. So then the vitamin D thing, I had 40,000 international units, which is a lot. High dosages. I had that for 10 days, well 9. And after these 9 days, zinc, woo, was working for me. So when I went out into the sun, my eyes weren't hurting. So you don't know you have a zinc deficiency and hurting eyes unless you have zinc all refilled and you feel all of a sudden, my eyes, and I want to go outside and stuff. Nobody knows about a deficiency like the zinc deficiency. I sure didn't know about. I knew my eyes hurt, but I didn't know others don't have this. So how could I have changed something? But you know, because I took all these 15 to 20 different things, plus the vitamin D, high dosages, as I said, 9-10 days and the problem was solved. Problem, huh? So, you know, no doctor helped me. I did it all by myself. Yeah. And in Switzerland, you really, when you do stuff by yourself, you go into a specialist list, you see all the specialities, like all the pharmacy that can be patented are called specialities. Like a tea isn't special. Nobody can patent a tea. So those aren't on this list. But everything the pharma industry can sell me is on there. That made it on there. I have to correct myself. So I check myself. What vitamin C do I want? Yeah, I now know what kind of injection or iron pill I want. And by the way, drinking a lot of iron producing or so-called containing plants gives you hard poo. So hard poo can be dealt with by xylitol. Okay, that one makes poo soft again. But then if I have like iron that needs to be taken in, and then I have this hard poo and I need to flush things out in the same moment as I'm sort of creating this hard poo. Do you get it? How can this iron be taken in when I'm already trying to fight the hard poo and flush my intestines?